D3 reports in Dover, Delaware. I'm Frank Rossi with Keith McMillan, and this is from the second round, Wesley versus Linfield. First time ever that matchup has been seen in Division III football, and it was a tale of two halves here from Wesley. 49-34 at Scott D. Miller Stadium in favor of Wesley. And Keith, really two halves. First half, Linfield. Second half, more so Wesley.
Obviously, Wesley had the big second half. 42 unanswered points came in the second half. They were down 27-7 at halftime. And the way Linfield got the lead was 5 big plays in the first half, 3 of them coming on third down, including a 3rd and 24 conversion that went for several yards. I'm going to read these off to you really quickly just because I compiled them, so I want to read them off. We had Josh Hill with a stretch play, 37-yard run on 3rd and 1. Lucas Jepson caught a quick slant about 20 yards down the field, turned it into a 60-yard play. Hill again, shovel pass on 3rd and 24, went for 42 yards. Aaron Williams caught a swing pass out of the backfield on 3rd and 9 and went for 45 yards. And then Lucas Jepson caught a 33-yard fade pass for a touchdown at the end of the half to go up 27-7. All those were big plays on Linfield scoring drives. Linfield had 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals in the first half. Went into the half, Frank, feeling pretty good about themselves. Yeah,
they definitely were up that 27-7 score, but first play in the second half was a fumble on the kickoff to Linfield. Wesley scores right away from that in the 99-yard pick six later on by Leon Jones. Just absolutely took any wind out of the Linfield sails in the second half.
Yeah, and Linfield surprisingly never got anything going after that. Leon Jones had an up and down day. He was the one who got beat right before the half for the long touchdown pass, and he made some plays and he missed some plays, but the biggest one of the day was the pick at the one yard line. Looked like he came off his man a little bit. Mickey Inns overthrew it. The ball got past the receiver. Jones kind of caught it like this. At the 1 yard line, and then he was off to the races. He got a great block from Jeff Morgan, then he got another block further down the field, and he hurdled over that. We'll probably see that play again because it's one of the highlights in what has to be the highlight quarter, the highlight half of Wesley's football program, to be quite honest with you. They've been a powerhouse since approximately 04-05. Linfield, of course, was the champion in 04, and this was a matchup that we've never seen before. It was unprecedented in the second round. And for Wesley to score 42 unanswered goes down in their playoff history. I mean, we witnessed something here today, Frank, that we have not seen in a playoff game any time I can remember.
You know, this is one of 3 big comeback games in the second round, 2 of which actually went the way of the comeback team. The Wabash game being the other one. Kane fell short in triple overtime against Salisbury. As we record this, we're not sure exactly what's going to happen next week for Wesley. It's either going to be in Texas against Mary Hardin-Baylor in Belton, Texas, or here in Dover against a very resilient McMurray team. As we record this, was 28-20 in favor of Mary Hardin-Baylor, but McMurray had a chance to tie that game. So you'll know probably more than we do right now once you see this. That said, Wesley going to the third round. You almost penciled them in normally most years, although after that Kane game this season, that loss, you weren't so sure if you could do that, but they've really looked almost unstoppable at times since that point.
Yeah, the key word there, Frank, at times. When Wesley puts it together, they're as good as anybody in the country, but that first half certainly wasn't their best football. I know they were up and down against Hobart with the 4 turnovers, but also the 3 stops, inside the 10-yard line. They had some red zone possessions today that were very key. The first 2 drives for Linfield got down the field quickly, and Wesley held those to field goals, and then, of course, the red zone stop, the 99-yard interception return. So Wesley played opportunistic. They forced turnovers this week instead of having them. Penalties weren't an issue as they were in week 1, and they were able to get down the field against Wesley. Some nice passes thrown by Shane McSweeney. He finished with, I had to look it up here, 174 yards rushing. This is the quarterback for Wesley, okay? If you've never seen Wesley play, this is certainly kind of unusual, but the quarterback is their best runner. He tucks it and goes like a fullback at some point. 174 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Also threw a couple nice balls down the seam. One hit Matt Barilli to set up a touchdown, and then 2 touchdown passes to the big tight end, Sean McAndrew, in the 4th quarter to put some distance between the Wolverines and Wildcats. And yeah, we have now going from an unprecedented second-round game to a precedented third-round game. I'm going to make that word up because Mary Hardin-Baylor, we're assuming, of course, or I'm assuming, that they'll hang on and win against McMurray. And if so, that game is in Texas. Those 2 teams have played quite frequently. And, the more we change things in D3, the more we see the same. Mount Union and Whitewater also looking pretty good today. And Wabash, I think, the other exciting result.
But it was still an exciting diversion, let's say, to see a West Coast versus East Coast team in the second round, and we do appreciate the NCAA's Tournament Selection Committee for setting this type of game up. That said, for Keith McMillan, this is Frank Rossi. Thank you for joining us on this D3 report, and we hope to see this on D3football.com.